and welcome back to ET Energy World. I'm your host Himanshi Tiwari and we are joining you from the India Energy Week 2025. Right now I'm joined in by Chanpreet Sahni, who's the Vice President at Hexagon. Chanpreet, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
All right, Chanpreet, the event is so grand. We are talking about the technology, we are talking about the innovations that are happening around the sector. But to start with, what are those digital trends or digitalization trends in the energy sector currently you are observing?
So the first thing is right. It's a grand event for sure. It's getting bigger and bigger every year, and we're really happy to be part of this as well. The question about digitalization and the trends that we are seeing in the energy sector right now, we're seeing a lot of repetitive work being digitalized now. A lot of items that were paper-based is now operators are starting to understand the value of data and how they can leverage data across the life cycle of their asset, how the same assets can be run more efficiently, more productive, and how technology is helping towards that. So on a macro thing, what's happened is the technology leverage has increased, and people are using now technology to their data leverage part and making sure that they have more safer, productive, and efficient operations.
All right, on that note, Chanpreet, how is Hexagon sort of a part of India's journey towards being a global energy hub?
So Hexagon in India has been with the energy sector for over 35 to 40 years. We've been working with major oil and gas service providers and owner operators, wherein we're working with both owner operators and the EPC and the engineering companies as well, where we've been providing our products and solutions. We've been working with them in creating a digital twin, a digital asset. We've also been working with a lot of system integrators. We have been empowering the ecosystem to go ahead and leverage the technology and the power of our smart digital reality, which allows them to create a autonomous future and a more of a real world, digital world kind of a scenario.
All right, so Chanpreet, you do enterprise asset management,
Correct.
right? So explain me in layman terms, first of all, what is this EAM, right? And then how has EAMs evolved in the past few years when we compare it to perhaps the traditional ERP systems, and how are businesses benefiting from this?
So the first part of the question, to explain what EAM is. So we know assets are everywhere, right? Even we at this point of time, humans are also taking in as assets, where we are bringing in productivity to a lot of things that are happening around. So put this in a perspective of a large plant where a lot of capital equipment is there, and their intent of running over the period of duration and everything that's around them have to work in tandem for a particular operation to be successful. And now put in the efforts of pressure, volume, temperature, they keep changing. So you require a constant maintenance and management of these assets. So digitalizing that digitalizing that part of the operations is known as asset management. Through our enterprise asset management, we've been able to create more predictive analysis of the maintenance system. We've been able to create a schedule. We've been able to register the assets that are there, so that the companies that have been using it or the owners that have been using it are more aware of their assets. They can utilize them much more, and they can make better decisions of their operations as well.
All right, all right. You know what happens? I have this question. What happens actually when you integrate EAMs to the existing systems in the companies? Are there any challenges that businesses face, and how can they sort of overcome that?
Well, challenges are, I would not call them challenges, but each company is a unique organization, right? They've been working in a certain way. They've also have their processes which have been working over the past years. And you introduce a new technology, the technology has to work their way rather than creating the cycle all over again. So the good thing about our solution is that we've been working with organization the way they are and how we can leverage of where they stand in the technology curve rather than changing the curve and or creating a new one. So we've been able to use whatever they've configured their process, add them to our asset management software, and create a learning curve for them.
All right. So on that note, how EAM software sort of helps companies to maximize their operational efficiency and at the same time also minimize their downtime, mostly with the asset heavy industries.
Yeah, so just imagine if you've spent a lot of capex on a certain equipment or on a certain item which is very, very critical to your operation and it goes down. You're not only just losing out on efficiency, but you're losing out on a number of good quality workman hours, right? And what if technology can empower a company to reduce that? That directly impacts their efficiencies, right? They're increasing their efficiency. So what EAM does is they go ahead and have these maintenance cycles or scheduled maintenances that they can foresee much in future, and they can plan their operations in a way so that the downtime, if for an equipment is there, they can utilize it in a better way, or they can also reduce the downtime as much as possible, because these are equipment, these are moving parts. You have to go ahead and have a maintenance cycle for them. So the technology is helping them to reduce that, and in turn not only just improve efficiency, also improve productivity as well.
All right, talking about technology, Chanpreet, a lot of technologies are coming in. We're talking about AI, we're talking about predictive analytics, we're talking about IoT. With all these technologies coming in at this point in time, what the future of EAM holds for you, and also how does the future looks like?
Yeah. But the future is quite bright. We've been talking about AI and ML and the things about calling as predictive maintenance rather than more of subjective and prescriptive. We now going ahead and looking at creating these data models wherein we're learning from the organization what their maintenance cycles have been, how the equipment's been working, how that can be incorporated, and much in advance tell that if you have these parameters, this is the cycle that you're going to do, this is your downtime in the future. If you change it by this certain way, you can extend the life of your capital as well, or your asset as well. That's one of the things. Also, these AI models is helping industry to learn better where have been the gray areas where they've not been able to maximize on their return on investments, and that's allowing them to make sure that their investments are more resulting in more returns. And also these technologies which we have in EM, and now we acquired a company called ITIS, they're allowing them to make these calls much in advance and well informed as well.
All right. All right. Well, thank you so much, Chanpreet. I'll leave it here for our audiences as well. And I'm sure you must have a hectic day since morning here at this grand event. Well, thank you so much for answering all those questions and even explaining what is EM about to a layman like me. Thank you so much. And to our viewers, stay tuned for many more such insightful conversations only on ET Energy World.